What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and we're taking another look at the Kaspa ASIC miners. The block reward reduction is about to happen tomorrow, actually today at the time of release, so we're going to be losing a little bit of rewards there, but it is looking like the KS0, the smallest, cheapest miner of them all, is actually getting the longest ROI, even with these price reductions. So you're probably thinking, what? No way. Really? How is this even possible? Now, the biggest thing and the largest advantage point of the KS0 is obviously the low power that this thing uses. It says 65, it is 71 watts at the wall, but it's not going to make you go broke. It's not going to bankrupt your mining facility because it's using so much power. It hardly uses anything. Anybody can even cover this out of pocket type of thing. You know what's going on here. So not very much power, where the other ones are obviously using quite a bit more. So you're going to have money ready to cover the power bill, or obviously sell some Kaspa. But another thing with this price reduction, these are not happening, and these probably aren't shipping till probably sometime end of the month right now. But we're going to base a couple numbers here. We're going to compare the KS3L, which is right here, and we're going to verse that versus the KS0. We're also look at maybe the KS1 or the KS2. We'll see what happens. But we're going to definitely show you that the KS3L is a faster ROI at this point versus the KS0. So let's go have a look at my spreadsheet and take a look at a couple numbers. First, actually, let's look at the Kaspa Explorer. Right now, at the time of recording, we're hanging out at about 4.3 petahash on the blockchain in terms of hash rate. Now, by the end of the month, I really expect us to probably be over that 5 petahash mark, because the KS3s and the KS3Ls are supposed to be shipping sometime this month, and it sounds like some of them very early could be shipping this week. Now, a few small orders did go out last week, which T-Swift does have, but we're going to be looking and counting, within the next 2 weeks, we're going to definitely be over 5 petahash. All right, so I am basing this at $800, which is the cheaper price. If you come into here, actually over here, you can see $759, but you also have to put in an extra $36, pretty much $37 for that power supply as well. Unless you're getting third-party stuff, then you probably don't have to worry about it. But if you aren't doing any of that, you're going to have to get a power supply as well as the miner. So that's putting it pretty close to $800. On top of that, I don't know what shipping is, as well as import fees coming out of Ice River. There is Miner Bros here, which you can get early August for $1,600, or the 15th to 25th, which is the reduction price. But remember, this may look higher, but this is all prices covered from shipping all the way to your door. No import fees or anything is being tacked on. This is all in price. And the same thing with Coin Mining Central here. They also have shipping and stuff, and very dropped low prices, so that you hardly have any type of import fees as well. I will have links and discount codes in the description below for both of these, Miner Bros and Coin Mining Central, if you're looking for Kaspa ASICs. But again, you are going to have to tack on more for them shipping fees as well as import fees when ordering through Ice River. All right, so here is the KS0, $800, and this does have a dollar sign there, but this is actually your days in ROI. So what's going on here is this is actually tacking in how much you're making based on all the calculations, and then dividing that by the price, and it's working out the days. Ignore the dollar sign. Whatever you see here for a dollar amount, that is your ROI days. I also have various numbers all over the place, so we can get rough ideas in different situations of what's going on. But August here, that's where we are right now. I am expecting it to hit 5 petahash very soon. So I'm going with 5 petahash instead of 4.3, just to, because I feel if we put in 4.3, that's going to be increasing within days coming up here. So it's not going to be 4.3 for very long. So anyway, doing all that, 4.9 cents on the Kaspa price. We do have about 51 days if this at 5 petahash. Now, next month, we have another reduction. I have that set at 7.4 petahash. We're probably going to be higher, but we can just get a rough idea. That's about 80 days. Now, here is September, or actually, this is August here, and I have 40 petahash here. So what that 40 petahash represents is Bitmain will be releasing it sometime probably August, September for their big KS3, the biggest, baddest beast of them all. And that's actually going to say, if 5,000 of those miners hit the network, that does put us with those miners alone of 40 petahash. So I just have that there. I really don't think it's going to hit this amount in October. I don't even think it's going to hit 40 petahash by the end of the year, but I don't know how many miners will actually sell. But at this point, we're looking at 463 days if we hit 40 petahash. And if it does it afterwards, it's just going to be longer and longer. Again, we don't know what's going to happen with that price. There's a lot more people now thinking that Kaspa price, just before or right after Bitmain releases their second or third batch, I don't know how they're going to do their timeline thing, that they have been doing a little bit of market manipulation, and we could possibly see a big tanking. We could drop down to maybe 2-3 cents. I have no idea. I'm not saying that could happen. We could keep going up to the moon and be at like 5, 6, 7, 8 cents by the time December hits. I have no idea. But there are some people thinking, this may be happening. And if it is the case, always expect some type of price drop happening. But if we continue on at where it is right now, 4.9 cents, with 40 petahash online in October, that's slightly over a year here at $800. And that's at the latest reduction, which isn't even shipping yet, keep in mind. And if we're still only around 7.4 in November, that's 89 days for an ROI, and then December is 95. But I definitely think we're probably going to be over the 10 to 15 petahash by the time we hit November, December. So that is the numbers for the KS0. Now I'm going to jump into the KS3L here and take a look at those numbers. Okay, so now I punched in the 5 terahash for the KS3L, and I also put in the KS0 numbers right beside it here. You can rewind the video, double check these numbers that they were here previously, and they will all line up. I put them here so we can kind of compare here. And also, we did look at this, that these are actually worth $19,999 sometime by the end of the month. Now, the current batch that's shipping right now is around that $24,000 range, and you guys know I'm kind of working on that T-Swift deal with the extra 25%. That would actually, for me, put it upwards of $30,000. And at the $30,000 mark, look at the comparison. The ROI is actually, this is July, so that's not going to count. So we're in August right now, 5 petahash here. 38 days is the ROI based on this. The KS0 is 51. Look at how much faster that is. The KS0, it kind of sucks in terms of ROI. Obviously, this is 30 grand you got to drop, and that sucks. But we're coming in here. We're looking at September, 60 days versus 80 days on the KS0. Now we're looking at that day of when I have 40 petahash here in October. Now we had 463 days happening on the KS0, where the KS3L is still under a year of an ROI. Look, 347, a full year is 365 days. We're still less than a full year to ROI this thing with 40 petahash on the network, again with 4.9 cents. We don't know what that price is going to do. That is the major issue here, is we don't know what Kaspa price is going to sit at over the next few months. And then moving on here, we do have November, again 7.4. It's going to be quite a bit higher in that, 89 days versus 67, and 95 days versus 71 days coming up in December. So we're seeing it's going to be a lot faster. Now, why is that? When I did my video a while back, I don't know if you guys have been following the channel or any of these Kaspa ASICs I've been doing, we put together a price sheet, and the KS0 is actually the most expensive miner that you can buy in terms of hash rate that you're getting. And when it first dropped, it was $9. Actually, this is the first reduction down to $9.99. Originally it was $1,600, so I have it based on the first reduction, but it was $9.99 per gigahash that you were paying for this miner, and $7.59 is what it's at right now at $7.59. Remember, it's actually at $800, so this is slightly higher if you need that power supply. Now, if you look at the KS3L, it's actually the cheapest miner per gigahash that you're getting. Now, the big downside here is this thing is an expensive miner, but it is the cheapest miner for the hash rate that you're getting. So in theory, if you're covering power out of pocket or something, it is the fastest ROI miner hands down, because it's the cheapest miner out there in terms of the price you're paying for the hash rate that you're getting. Now, it's not the most efficient. That obviously does go to Bitmain's KS3 and as well as Ice River's KS3. The KS3L isn't that efficient, but it's still more efficient, especially that we just found out from T-Swifts here that is actually using 27,000 or 27,000. That's way too much power. So 2,782 watts at the wall, which puts it more efficient than both the KS1, KS2, and the KS0. But again, the major player here with the KS0 is the fact that it's a cheaper buy-in and entry, and for most miners, it's also only using 71 watts. So that still makes the KS0 a really big selling point for a lot of the home miners out there. So it's still taking first place, I feel, in a lot of miners' minds, just because of that entry fee and the low amount of power that it uses, even though it's not really that efficient of a miner. All right, so now I actually dropped it down to what most people would be paying if they got it from Ice River right now, and that's the 20,000. Remember, you're still going to have a pretty big import fee, as well as I don't know how their shipping is going to go, but it's going to be fairly expensive. Again, Miner Bros and Coin Mining Central is probably the cheaper option if you want to get one of these other than Ice River. But looking at $20,000 here, we can see, look at the ROI here on starting August here with the 5 petahash, 25 days versus the KS0's 51, and then my 38. You know, it's still quite a bit more because I have to pay so much more for that. We have 40 days coming in September, only 231 days with 40 petahash on the network, again at 4.9 cents. We don't know if that price is going to hold or go higher. We got 44 days versus 89 and 67 here in November and December, 47 days versus 95 versus 71. So that's the normal price that we have it right now. So I'm going to quickly jump into here. Let's just quickly do the KS1 here. So we got 6299. So this thing is worth 6299. We're just going to adjust this right quick, do it on the fly, 6299. And then we got to drop this all down to 1 terahash here. So we're going to go 1000 gigahash, copy that over and just paste all these in. Yeah, there we go. So there we go. So now comparing to the KS0 and the KS3L at my price, remember this is that $30,000 mark. We're coming in August, which is right now 40 days versus 51 and versus 38. That doesn't make sense. Why would the $30,000? Oh yeah, never mind, because this is a less miner. So the KS3L. So the bigger the miner, the actual the faster the ROI. So if we look at the KS2 that I actually have here, is that what I put in here? I don't even remember now. KS2, got two. We're doing the one, the KS1, 62.99, 62.99. Yeah. So we're coming in here. How much was the KS1? So you're actually paying. So yeah, this is paying $6.29. So again, per gigahash at that lower price. So it makes sense. You know, I'm jumping around a little bit in the video here, but here we're paying $6.29. The KS3L at the 30,000, which is the extra 10,000 on top of it, is coming in at the $6 that Bitmain's doing. So it makes sense that this ROI is still faster than even the KS1 at its price reduction, because I'm still paying less per gigahash than what the KS1 is. So 40-day ROI versus 51 versus 38. Now we got 63-day ROI hanging out in, what is this, September here? So we got September here, 63-day ROI, 8 versus 80 days on the KS0 versus 60 days on the KS3L. They're pretty close, within 3 days, but the KS3L obviously is the better miner because you're getting 5 terahash versus 1 terahash. And again, it looks like it would be about 1 year if 40 petahash smashes the network at 4.9 cents in October. And remember, every month, so even if 40 petahash hits the following month, because the block reduction happens, you can see the daily emissions, how it is dropping every single month here. And again, I'm going to continue this all the way throughout the whole year next year just to see what that looks like. But every year, it's a full halving event happening on Kaspa, but it's just done through small reductions every single month. But looking at the numbers, you can see, you know, price per gigahash does matter. It depends if you're paying out of pocket, depends what your power price is, if you can afford to pay out of pocket. But the bigger the miner, the cheapest per gigahash is working out to be the fastest ROI. And the KS0 is looking like it is taking the longest to cover its costs at this point. But again, the big seller is low power, low entry fee. Anyway, guys, hopefully this video kind of brought a little bit of insight into the Kaspa ASIC situation, how things are kind of looking like. Let me know if you want me to check out any type of ASICs, you know, maybe certain network patterns you want me to input into our design. How many ASICs do you think are going to be coming online and by the time, you know, the end of the year something happens? So let me know all your guys' numbers and guesses down in the comment section below. I will see you all in the next one. Rabid out.